Hello everyone, I'm Alex and I'm a professional wedding photographer, and welcome to my channel. During the last 2 weeks I had the chance, thanks to f64.ro, to test out a pretty new lens for Sony full-frame mirrorless camera system. And I'm talking about the Tokina Firin 20mm f2 with autofocus for Sony. This lens is quite new on the market, and I barely saw some Japanese reviews, some reviews that were filmed in Japanese, and I wasn't quite sure about the performance, the overall performance of this lens. But during the last two weeks, as I said, I had the chance to take this lens and test it out on 2 real weddings and some other side projects, and I was pretty much impressed about the overall performance. This lens is a really nice quality, a really nice build quality lens. It is made of aluminum alloy, I think, at least it sounds like that. It is pretty nice in size. It is very well balanced on the body. I'm using a Sony A7III as the main camera for weddings and other projects, and it stays in hand really well. It's not having a huge front element, and is being provided with a lens hood that is really reliable in terms of staying in place, because you have less chances to lose it. But what about its overall quality, its overall performance? I was quite impressed about the autofocus system, that it does its job. It focuses quickly, it focuses precisely. I never found myself in any situation shooting with this lens when the lens struggled too much, except a bit in low light. In low light it was quite a complicated scenario, because at weddings we know very well that we have stage lights, many colors going around on the dance floor, and the people are moving a lot, they are dancing a lot, and for any lens on the market would be a bit difficult to acquire focus in a condition like that. But this lens, that's why I'm saying that I was impressed about it. It did its job very, very well. I never found myself in any situation when this lens didn't acquire focus and the camera was not able to capture the moment that I was aiming to. The focus is good. Not that good in low light, but it's noisy, at least for videographers that may consider this lens as an alternative for gimbal work, to film with it. It's not that recommended, at least for my taste, because the autofocus system is quite noisy. And by noisy I mean, let's hear it out. Yeah, you can hear it. One more. Yeah, you can hear the autofocus, and any microphone could capture the sound of the autofocus system, and that's not quite okay. For those that do not care about the sound, that are using a recorder or any other type of recording the sound, I think this lens is a good alternative. I'm going to take it outside the studio in the park, and I'm going to do some going backwards, going forward to the lens to test out how good it's maintaining the focus, how good is acquiring and keeping the focus on the subject. Because this is an f2, and an f2 prime lens is quite a promising thing, to be honest. And I had the chance also before this to test out the Sigma Art 20mm f1.4, the native one, and I was really impressed about the 1.4 at least. I loved it. But in terms of size, this is double the size of the Tokina lens, and that's not quite comfortable, at least for my taste, because when I switched from Canon to Sony, I wanted a lighter kit, a lighter camera to carry around, because I'm always using 2 cameras on a strap, and I'm using either an ultra wide, either a 35 and an 85 lens. And by the way, compared with the 85, this is actually the size of the lens, and as you can all see, as you can see, the size of the lens is quite similar, is not that big, it is nice, with a nice front element, and filling it as the 85, having the right balance on the camera strap, it gives me a big advantage during the wedding. So, in my humble opinion, I think this is a good lens, and at this moment, at the moment of launching this video review, I think some of us already have the new Tamron 17-28 f2.8, and that's a really nice lens. It's coming on the market because it's a good price alternative for the 16-35 G Master lens, and we know already that the Sigma launched the 14-24 2.8 lens that is a bit heavy, almost the same size as the Tamron, but is about 50% much more expensive than the Tamron. But comparing this one with the Tamron, comparing the Tokina with the Tamron, this is cheaper, smaller, lighter, and it is a good alternative for a large majority of photographers that are looking for a prime lens, because not all of us are shooting with zoom lenses, with zoom ultra-wide lenses, because we are aiming for low distortion, for low chromatic aberration. And I can tell you, the chromatic aberration on this lens is very well managed. Actually doesn't exist. I was not able to find in any situation when shooting against the sun, against harsh light, I was not able to find at any moment any chromatic aberration with this lens, and at f2 I was really impressed about that. The sharpness, the overall sharpness of this lens was pretty darn good, to be honest, and from corner to corner at f2 to capture really sharp images, this is something. This is really something, and I'm impressed about that. The autofocus, maintaining the focus as expected. Yeah, struggling a bit in low light, you can get used to it. Before switching to Sony, I was using the 35mm f2 with IS from Canon, and that was a really slow lens, to be honest with you. Maybe some of you know that lens, and that was really slow. And I was used to it. I was working with it very, very well, and I was capturing really nice emotions, really nice moments during the weddings that I was shooting, and I got used to it. We can get used to this, but this is much more quicker than that one. It's not that slow. The lens distortion on this lens is very well managed as well. From corner to corner, it keeps the line straight, not that much, but at least it does not distort that much. Let's go outside and test the autofocus and the other things about this lens, and then we'll get back to the studio and analyze the pictures during the weddings and the results that we were able to capture. So this was it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video review that I did today, please subscribe to my channel to encourage me to make more videos. Thank you.